No, the people are with us. There is no dissent. Like, he's just saying the thing, and he's just actually too fucking stupid to understand he's doing it, which is fucking wild. Like, literal virtue signaling for totalitarian fascism. Now, we can't have it. They can't even be a minority. It would have to be a government where everyone agrees. The first government of its kind, a government of the people. Hopefully with Mormon rules to guide them. The Mormon church has been very good at organizing. There's not a lot of dissent. We are going to be talking about fucking Shadiversity's book burning video. Game community managers are going crazy. What the dude? The Night Watch content is the worst shit ever. I swear to God, I don't know why it exists. Either way, Shadiversity is a guy on the internet, which is just crazy. That it's still happening. We talked about his inevitable downfall a couple days ago, and then I think the day I came out with that, we saw him release another video, I think that night. I think this was like from Tuesday or something, where he is apparently in this video going to come out. It's literally 2 days ago. He's going to come out in favor of book burning, from what I've heard. It's only 16 minutes and 29 seconds long. I'm going to check it out, but this is very, very interesting. This is a very, very interesting a little bit of nonsense that's going on. If it's actually true and that's what he goes over here, I'm gonna have, my mind is going to be blown. So here we go. We're just gonna hop into this. I've heard rumors and I don't know if it's true. I want to hear it.
Welcome back to The Watch. And Oz and I were just starting to have a conversation that was worth making a video on, because there's actually some honest, mature kind of open discussion is worth being had on this subject, actually. And it gets blown out of proportion, also misidentified. And it's the whole notion of burning books, because the notion of burning books is inherently tied in with censorship.
I am.
Okay? And censorship is bad.
I'm gonna spit on my computer right there. What?
Kind of open discussion is worth being had on this subject, actually, and it gets blown out.
How are we doing on volume, by the way, guys?
Proportion, also misidentified, and it's the.
Let me go ahead. This is as quiet for. You know what? I'm probably gonna turn it up for me too.
Whole notion of burning books, because the notion of burning books is inherently tied in with censorship. Okay, and censorship is bad. Most people on our side would agree with that. Yet there are certain things that even people on our side believe that needs to be censored.
Now, what you need to understand is not all animals are equal, but some animals are more equal than others. What? What the actually just getting seeing mental gymnastics being done like this in front of me is fucking awesome, because I know it's gonna be like pulling teeth to get to him to say what should and shouldn't be censored, and how you're still anti-censorship while being pro-censorship, because it's always, you have to articulate yourself as I'm completely anti-censorship, which I guarantee you he said before. But like you never get into the deeper aspects of it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna let him talk. I accidentally read chat 3 times in 2 different directions. Blew my brain to fucking pieces.
A classic example is CP. I was about to say I can't think of anyone who would ever try and defend CP and not agree that it needs to be banned. But
that would be your own. Rev says Des out there, bro.
I had to stop myself, because there is some people on a certain side that is actually trying to defend CP and even reframe it to be, let's rephrase pedophilia as MAPS, minor attracted people and stuff. And
to be completely fair, though, there are a lot of libertarians.
Who, by the way, the minor attracted person shit, where the fuck did that come from? That's one of those things where it's like, I feel like it's just the right's backfooting the rest of like the normal human beings on this earth by saying like, hey man, like, sorry, somebody said something to me that was irritating. It's like the right is coming out and trying to backfoot people by saying like, man, I cannot believe you guys are defending this term maps. And you're like, what are you talking about? Like the minor attracted person is like, who the fuck says that? Like, what fucking tunnel do you have to crawl down in academia to find where whatever this was mentioned in and be like, this is definitely something everybody thinks. You know what I mean? Like, you just crawl underneath one communist's house and find like a fucking human bone. You're like, well, these guys are all clearly fucking cannibals. Like, what are you talking? What? How do you even know that was why that was that? What the fuck is this? I have to this day heard the term maps only from fucking righties, and in the cases when fucking lefties are saying it, it's usually because a righty has said it and they are incredulously repeating the word. Maybe some fucking like deep Tumblrite hole in the world, right, that like is full of just the weirdest like essayist and like mentally deranged people who just happen to be leftists and are just like literally untreated fucking mental patients, are like, yeah, the maps is very important, but like I would scald someone out of my fucking community if they like tried to correct me from saying like, don't say that, say this. If anything, the only reason it should exist is because maybe maps is like a good what do you call that? Like a fucking double entendre that can just sneak past like auto censor things and keep you from getting demonetized. Like, only in that case do I think it's like not even just reasonable, but like necessary. But where the fuck does that come from? Like, it just came out of nowhere and I despise it. I hate it. I don't think that you should ever really use very many, like, you shouldn't pussyfoot around like children getting hurt. That's my thing. Like, that should be the first concern, and then you need to back off from there, kind of deal. And it's just a little goofy. So it is what it is. The map thing came from the Tumblr deep web before those places saw the light of day. I fucking knew it. Like, only Tumblr. 4chan cannot create shit like that, dude. People give 4chan so much flack, deserved very often, but like, why Tumblr was ever considered to be a place of like reason or sanity or like decent morals is beyond me, because Tumblr always struck me as being more potentially psychotic page for page than anything I've ever seen. Like, Tumblr was just an actual clearinghouse for mental like illness that you could sign your whole name to and have your face on. It was the weirdest, still is to this day, one of the weirdest fucking sites. I watched that. I don't know if you guys know who Dark Aeons is. I think I'm saying her name right. She's the chick that did all the fucking like Onision videos and reviews and stuff. And she did a bunch of Tumblr deep dives because she was like, she's like the me of Tumblr for like trying to like peel back the layers, except for on like, you know, I do it with 4chan kind of deal. Depravity of fucking Tumblr is like insane. It's crazy, to the point where I found out like a lot of like the worst memes that I thought originated on 4chan are actually like from Tumblr, man. Strange Aeons. Thank you, Strange Aeons. Apparently it started on a pedophile forum called Boy Chat in 1998. The fuck is that? I was 11. Where the fuck, bro? Who fucking hunted that down? Also, where does he find people that look this medieval? I mean, the dude's got the clothes on, right? But this face is meant for fucking, like, this dude's whole build is literally for picking at fucking pig shit with one of those like wooden pitchforks that you only see in like The Witcher. He puts his he needs to stab that into the ground and half lean on it while he leers at like the attractive rogue girl that's walking into town. My man's got them he's got that peasant grill. He's got them popper teeth.
You know, that's why we call it mental illness and not really political statements. But yeah,
there are some things, right, that I think most people most people, with exceptions, could agree that it's so vile and evil that it needs to either be banned. It's so bad that I would happily burn it because of how evil and vile it is. And like, what about, you know, I think of the most vile, sadistic stuff. A book of just like, I don't know, some.
I've never really thought that. I don't. The thing is just like whenever I think of burning books, I can't not think of Nazis is my thing, and I feel like that's most people's thing. And so like, I mean, you can like destroy a book, but you don't have to burn it. You can just like recycle it. Like it'll just go into a big grinder and get turned into pulp and like become more paper. I don't believe in like the fundamentality of evil that like somebody writes something that's like untoward on a page and like it destroys the soul of the paper. I mean, I might monologue in that direction someday as a joke, but like that's fucking crazy. It's a psychotic thing to say. Like my man thinks he's like really killing the thoughts in the book. I think oh, holy, my bad. Give me, I'm sorry. Just, it is really just a different type of Renaissance painting. You know what I mean?
Horrible murderer slaughtering children or something like that. Like, no, burn that thing. I don't want anyone to ever see it. That is horrific, vile.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe the police would need a copy or something like that. But I think we can acknowledge there is.
So even he's admitting he's just kind of doing it as he's just literally doing it as a virtue signal. He's just literally virtue signaling. I wouldn't destroy every copy, of course, because maybe someone needs it for their records. But what the fuck are you talking about?
Is a line.
So just fucking
everyone
recycle it, man. I literally can't even think of the book that I would have burned, and there's a lot that I disagree with and I think are fundamentally evil, but like just burning them is crazy. Like I just wouldn't burn any books. Like I couldn't watch it happen. I would feel like a fucking Nazi.
There's like, of course we don't cross that.
Yeah. I'm just, were those the books that historically were being burnt?
No.
What was being burnt?
I mean, so it all goes back to, you know, the Nazis. Everything goes back to the Nazis, as it seems like,
It's the
right?
thing that frames our current paradigm, apparently.
And the book burning that happened then. And what I think...
Dude, you can't hand wave the Nazis though, because like oh man, I guess everything just goes back to the Nazis. Like yeah, man, like the first major industrial power to commit a mass genocide against Jewish people and like burned books and had like a whole like cult of personality around shows of like morality and white supremacy do really inform a lot of the modern era. Like they were the last great act of evil of the Industrial Revolution before the Atomic Age began. Like it's the Nazis. You can't hand wave the Nazis. Like that's I think the point of it.
People should acknowledge
it. Fuck.
The type of book burning the Nazis did was book banning. What they had, the Nazi regime was so entrenched and overwhelming and didn't want anyone speaking out against them that they didn't want anyone reading anything that could possibly push them in another direction, but also just didn't want books that were written by Jews as well. Yeah. And so the burning of the books in this instance, to my understanding, was the attempt to physically eradicate the copies of those books in their society. Okay? And the way you physically eradicate books is burning them. But the way, like what if...
But it's not... Just nowhere does that. No, you can just recycle it. Like they put it in a gigantic fucking paper shredder and destroy it. It's annihilated, and then they make new paper products out of it. Like that's a crazy statement to make. The only way to get reading, like, is he just fucking burning all of his paper waste behind his house? Don't answer that.
How would you destroy a digital book? You would delete it. Okay, one of the way, like, and so burning is somewhat more.
Yeah. That's what I would point at too.
Shredding a book. But to me, it was the actual attempt to enforce the banning of these books to prevent people from reading them. Okay,
you're forgetting he's Mormon. He can ignore any atrocity. True.
What about like the actual content? Because it might have been just having Jewish heritage was enough to get your book burnt in Nazi Germany, but wouldn't it have something to do with the content as well? Because I'm pretty sure The Hobbit was one of Tolkien's works was also banned.
How dare they?
Well, no, I mean the crazy thing is like you're talking about the book burnings and like how they're kind of cool, but I know transgender talked about. It was anything that was considered degenerate, which isn't just like, I think largely not books that no one's writing about like pedophilia or anything, but just basically anything that wasn't very like Nazi-esque, you know? So like all good things were burned. Like anything that was against the Nazis was burned. You can boil it down like that. So what in the fuck are we talking? It's not just Jewish shit. Texts that like went against Nazi scientific thought, texts that went against Nazi philosophy, all of that shit got fucking burned, bro.
That is a step too far.
That is going. How there is no reason under the sun to burn the Hobbit.
Have the Nazis gone too
unless you're like, you know, in the frozen wilderness and you might freeze to death.
Bro, not getting fucking. I mean,
the only fuel you had was the Hobbit. I mean, even then, that's probably not all.
Look, burn the movies. Go ahead, we'll supply them.
All the movies.
Yeah. But you know, and also it does like the fact that it's the Nazis doing it. Change the fact of the content of the books they're burning. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, is there a
possibly? I don't know. Because so the whole like Nazis bad, and it's like, oh, Hitler liked dogs, so you better not like dogs. But no, the guilt by association thing is real though, right? When people are like, you're at a sporting event with a political person that you disagree with, how dare you even associate with them? And everything's a Nazi and all that stupid stuff, right? I think it's a slight like thing that's manifesting that, where book burning is a sign of Nazi behavior. When, for me, I'm a very devout Christian, and there are some things that I find wholly evil that I don't want in my house. Pornography, I will freaking burn pornography if I find it in my house, right? Am I a Nazi for burning the book?
No.
It's like, no. Okay. Pornography if I find it in my house, right? Am I a Nazi for burning the book?
No.
It's like...
Clip him, baby. Clip him, baby. Oh, hey. Weird Bros 0097 super chat at $5. If you go to the comments, you'll find lots of people going, no one talks about what books were burned. Oh my god. I'm not surprised. My man's over here. Nazis had a point.
Like, no. Okay.
Am I a Nazi for burning it to a USB? No. Not at all.
You're just a degenerate.
I'm just kidding.
No, but that's what I mean. That's what I mean. Where because the Nazis did something, how dare anyone ever do it? And this kind of conversation arose out of Crisis King controversy. But one of the phrases Andrew Klavan said in response to this was about burning books. Andrew says, when you start saying things like, some of the books Hitler burned weren't so bad, you know, I was shocked. This was something Candace actually said. I was surprised. So Andrew Klavan is basically, you know, criticizing Candace Owens. I was surprised to learn that the books Hitler was burning or the Nazis were burning, they weren't good books. They were bad books. They were socialist books, began Klavan. And then he says, burning a book is an act of a savage, first of all. He added before listening to Owens' but he actually, there's something more. He says, act of a savage, and he says, when you start burning books, you start burning people. And I was like, not really. Can we be honest about that? Like, yeah, we can all agree. Nazis is bad. Nazis are awful. The books they were burning was an act of burning.
But, dude, throwing the Nazis were bad, but. Where's the but? There's the buts coming. Here's the but. Here's the but. Do it.
And censorship. That was awful. And the idea of burning a book can be seen as an intellectual savage thing. But then to, like, leap to the thing that it's burning a person, I was like, you know, I was on board with you to a certain point there, Hendry.
It's like one of those old anti-piracy ads on DVDs. Like, what's next? You download a movie. You're gonna
go steal a car?
Download a car?
Well, you know, the thing about Nazi Germany is, with burning people, the thing about Nazi Germany and burning people is, you wouldn't burn a book, so why would you burn a person is a crazy thing to say to a German circa late 30s, early 40s. Generally speaking, it's actually kind of a wild thing. You wouldn't burn a book. You wouldn't burn a person. Why would you burn a book? Is a crazy thing. A crazy point to make. A crazy point to make to the Germans. What with considering all the people they burned, alive and otherwise, for the better part of a decade. That is That is wild. Did you not think that? He had like a funny joke like 10 seconds ago. Somebody pointed out in chat the burn to USB is hilarious. Kind of outdid yourself there. Actually, the 6 million figure is kind of conflated with actual historical records. You couldn't cook 6 million cookies with what?
Download a purse. What are you going to download?
But let's be honest, right? If people could download a car, they would.
I can download.
And I'll tell you what: if a Nazi could burn a person, only time will tell.
Print it off and paint it.
Oh, there's that. Let me get the exact phrase, right?
Is the act of a savage, first of all. And when you start with burning books, you start burning people.
No, and when you start burning books, you start burning people. Like, no, and
Yeah. Yeah.
And by the way, like if I wanted to, you know, burn a book of pornography, is like that's not an act of a savage. I'm just saying, like the whole.
It is.
It's just because this
That is no, unironically, that is actually fucking crazy and weird. Like burning literature is like Nazi shit. Like fucking straight up, like they took it. You know, it's like saying like, oh, you know, if I just want to wear a cool looking like swastika on stuff, you know, that doesn't mean that I'm like a Nazi. First off, they just took that imagery. That's theirs now. Like book burnings is a Nazi thing. Everyone, if you see people burning book, it's because Nazis do it. Like you're just doing Nazi shit. Like you're just doing Nazi shit. You've already been doing Nazi shit. Now you're just really doing Nazi shit. Like it's wild. It's a bad look, to say the least. I don't even know where to jump off of that, but like, also it is just psychotic, yeah, to just burn something that you're upset with. Like that is the act of an actual savage, because you are a barbarian for doing it. Like you're a crazy little lunatic. Like you're a fucking psycho. Like you're starting a fire to like, what? Are you getting the ghosts out? Like you're literally so afraid of evil that you're trying to burn it away. Like that's why Mormonism's kind of like a joke religion, and you're kind of like a joke for doing it, because you guys are the goofballs that got tricked. And like doing on top of that, like saying like something's so evil I have to set it on fire. I have to burn out the evil spirits. It's fucking the act of a literal savage. You're like a little monkey person, like a little ape man, a little like literally same fucking reaction. He fucking like it immediately, my mind immediately goes to like a fucking like a literal fucking animal in a zoo, like a half-formed demi-human seeing naked pictures in a book and freaking the fuck out, jumping around, waving sticks at it, and then you finally put it on fire, and all the rest of your little fucking the rest of your little Cro-Mags start jumping around. Woo! Woo! Making just hooting and hollering noises, which is what you dipshits do at your goofy fucking churches. Like, it's impossible to take you fucking seriously. You're an animal, man. You're like you're literally, when you came out for burning books, you actually permanently decreased your evolutionary status in my eyes. I think that you may be less than human, actually, for real. Not like a joke. Not like Vosh trying to articulate how he feels about a black woman. Like legitimately like underdeveloped. Like you're not all there. Like I want to see you do an IQ test. I want to see you try to solve puzzles. All of everything going back starts to make sense. Like it is makes sense that you didn't like Elden Ring, because like it was probably too fucking hard for you. Like if you don't have shit explained to you directly, you probably don't get it. Like you think scientific concepts are neat the same way that you think like God is neat, because it kind of escapes you and you know you can wield it against people like a cudgel, because you're basically a fucking animal with like a human construction about you, like the false flesh of a man. This is fucking awesome. Like this is crazy. What if Altist and now you? Just openly admitting like sometimes things scare me and I burn them. Fucking There's pornography in my house. How would it have gotten there with my young children around? Who knows where it came from? I'll take it out back and I'll fucking burn it. Just like literally pissing and shitting your pants. Shitting and farting, dude. Oh my God. A whole whooping, wallering, non-spoken word animal noises as you fucking shit fart your way into the backyard to burn porn in an act of terror. Like, how are you gonna raise? I'm fucking worried as shit about your kids, unironically. Hopefully they're based and like they go to school in fucking Australia and the other Australians like, you fucking date's fucking weed cunt. My daddy's a weed cunt, but I fucking make fun of him. He bought me a fucking tortoise for my birthday. You want to go fucking surfing after school? Yeah, fucking, oh, man, I'm going to fucking get wasted and shit. I'm going to go surfing. Oh, fuck, yeah, you talking to me? Hopefully that fucking happens because, like, dude, Jesus Christ, could you imagine raising kids who are just like, oh, shit, fucking, you know, like they get away from their parents for the first time and a kid sees pornography and just freaks out and goes for a lighter, like... It sets the whole fucking, like, sets a fucking mini mart on fire. They're like, what happened? He's like, I saw pornography. It was out there, fucking right there. We could see it, man. Fucking embarrassing as shit, bro.
Right? There's a difference between what you want to restrict in your own life versus trying to restrict things with other people. That's where I think people are misunderstanding this stuff, right? As an individual, you bet in your boots, whatever. Bet your boots. Bet
That's
your
a good one.
I'm using that.
I'm going to steal it and copyright it.
There we go. You bet your boots that there are stuff that I ban in my house, and if I find in my house, I will freaking burn in my house, right? In actual fact, if I had the choice, okay, to live in a community where pornography was banned, 100%. 100%. The thing is, though, to achieve that, it would need to be people choosing to enter into that you know, community with that stipulation and rule in place, right? And it's not preventing anyone who wants to indulge in that the right to be able to do it, because that's the difference.
I believe in
people do
fascism and totalitarian
and ban
censorship.
stuff, metaphorically burn it, and even maybe physically burn it.
Metaphorically ban it and maybe physically ban it.
But that is not the same as trying to restrict it from other people. That's what I think is getting wrong. The wires crossed here, okay? And so to say all book burning and essentially all book banning is wrong then, I think is not being honest with the fact that both sides have things that they would want to ban. Like us on the right, we don't want to see explicit sexual grooming type books in primary school libraries. We want those banned, and guess what? I'll probably burn those books too, because they're freaking disgusting and vile.
And so like you said with the whole...
Oh, I'm fucking losing me mind. Fucking losing me mind. He's talking about books in American schools. This is an Australian national, by the way, repeating American talking points. I don't know if this has ever happened in Australia. I don't know if it's ever happened in Australia, but he is literally repeating American talking points for, I have to only assume, an American audience. I would unironically be fucking shocked to find out any fucking Australians are fucking lame enough to be watching Shadiversity. There has to be like one or two. Oh, Jed, I'm out here in Canberra, and I just want to say I wish the fucking Liberal government would catch fire, be replaced with true Nazis, or fuck. They gotta be out there. They gotta be out there. But I fucking feel like most of you Aussies are just like, fucking like, hey, no, fuck, he's a cunt. T5, I gotta fucking work on Monday. I gotta fucking work on Monday. I can't fucking do that goddamn fucking Shadiversity. I'm fucking porn. Burn me fucking pornos, eh? Oh, fucking, I'll put you right out back in a fucking outback over there. You can fucking hang out with the goddamn ruse. Fucking get stung by a spider. I don't say it anymore. I'm beside myself. This is the stupidest shit I've ever heard. I can't believe it's literal virtue signaling. By the way, this is just virtue signaling. The title. Oh, hold on. Thank you. QTV's Hodor my super chat, $10. Thank you very much. I used to be a fan of Shad way back before he let his crazy out, and now watching this, I really do wonder if this man is on the spectrum. He's fixated on the weirdest thing. Vid with his brother especially. Yeah, I mean, he might just be delusional. He might be fucking like mildly acoustic. He might just be fucking delusional. He might just be a fucking asshole. I think he might just be stupid. I think he might just actually legitimately be diminished as a human being in his ability to fucking parse the world around him. Like it's too difficult of a puzzle for him, and so it makes him angry. But the thing is literally what is the title? Shadiversity virtue signaling his pro-Nazi beliefs. Virtue signaling his fucking National Socialist fucking worker party, Arbeitsparty. Like, what in the fuck? What else do we have here? Like that's just it's straight up. It's straightforward as fuck.
We're going to get rid of this book because we find it vile and we think it goes against any common decency, so we're going to destroy it, right? The fact of the matter is, historically, the Nazis were elected into power. You know, they wanted to destroy the books. They went and did it.
Yeah, but then that's when it goes to government censorship, right? Because there
how's a government different to a collection of people agreeing? Because they were, again, elected.
Well, this is where it goes too far. Because, like, for me, that whole community analogy, 100% of the people need to go into it. As soon as you have
Hold on, I gotta rehear this.
Destroy the books. They went and did it.
Yeah, but then that's when it goes to government censorship, right? Because there
how's a government different to a collection of people agreeing? Because they were, again, elected.
Well, this is where it goes too far. Because, like, for me, that whole community analogy, 100% of the people need to go into it. As soon as you have a majority or even a minority or a group of people that are imposing their standards on another group of people that don't agree, that's where tyranny can come in. And that.
So my man said he doesn't. I don't think he even realizes that like these are already thoughts that have been rearticulated. My man is articulating totalitarian fascism. He is just literally articulating it. No, the people are with us. There is no dissent. Like he's just saying the thing. And he's just actually too fucking stupid to understand he's doing it, which is fucking wild. Like, literal virtue signaling for totalitarian fascism. Now, we can't have it. They can't even be a minority. It would have to be a government where everyone agrees. The first government of its kind. A government of the people. Hopefully with Mormon rules to guide them. The Mormon church has been very good at organizing. There's not a lot of dissent. That fucking laughing there.
That's one of the democracy is
no dissent
one of the
in the Shadlands.
least worst systems we have. Right, it's not perfect because at the end of the day, it can be mob rule. Right, and there are a lot of people like we see a big divide in current world today between people who live in cities and people who live in countries. But because there's more population in the cities, they are voting to impose their standards on people who live in the country that are just like get stuffed. We didn't vote for that.
Yeah, they're two different ways of life.
Exactly, and so
do you even have that in Australia? Does he? This is an American talking point. Do you guys even have state sovereignty in Australia? That's what he's trying to articulate. He's trying to articulate like city versus. But do you guys even have where there's city non-sovereignty in Australia, or do you guys cities like vote on their own? Because this is what he's talking about, like having like if you're in a democracy, that yeah, there's going to be people voting, fucking, and you don't win every vote or agree with everyone. And if there's less people, then you don't get to have what you have. That's what a majority minority is. You know, it doesn't always work out. You have to talk your way through it. You have to find out the constitutionality of things, depending on what that means wherever you're from. But like, that is just always, that's what voting is. And so the alternative to that is giving the minority power over the majority, which is what you're articulating, which is, it becomes fascism eventually. If it's not just straight oligarchy, which is what you're advocating for, a non-democratic system. You're advocating against democracy, which is a common talking point in America. Fucking red states and specifically Republican fucking politicians hate democracy because they always lose the popular vote. Because the more you can tell people what the Republicans are doing, the more people are like, oh, actually, that's fucked. These guys suck. But does that even exist in Australia as a talking point outside of like people parroting American shit? That's fucking awesome. You do? Okay. Is it too much Helldivers? There's no such thing. Yeah, Australia has states. I mean, I know Australia has states, but do you guys have states' rights? Do you guys have states have sovereignty over the top of the cities? So like the state government is actually more powerful than a city's government. And so the state will control the city and the city can't be independent. That's not always the case. Or do you guys have like by counties? I mean, I know you guys have different like provinces and shit. Everyone, you have to do that. It's just a standard administrative district shit. But like, that's crazy. He gets his American talking points from Sargon of a god. That's insanity. Chad is the product of severely critical upbringing with conditional love. Clearly has identity issues, probably some gender or gender role issues, and might be just closeted LGBT. I don't think he's anything but straight, given the kind of porn he makes. I think he's just very closeted and being like a gooner. He's a closeted goon.
That's when it's wrong when a nation, even if they're supposedly voted into power, right, starts burning and banning stuff, because there would be people in our society that might actually want to read The Hobbit.
Yeah. But there's also people in society who want to read child pornography and...
Well, that's exactly right. There is a line, isn't there?
But who sets the line is the question.
That is the question, because then there'll be people who say, I want to ban any book about capitalism because capitalism is bad, or I want to ban any book on communism. Communism is bad, right?
Who wrote 50 Shades of Grey?
I forget.
Put it on the ban list right now. Let's get that out of the way.
Funnily enough, I don't think a lot of people rejected that one. Not because they want to read it. No one cares.
A lot of women think it's absolute fire.
Supposedly.
Yep.
Odd one.
Makes them burn up.
Because the whole child pornography, that's the big issue, right? And the innocence of children and all that stuff. And so you would like to think that most people would agree to ban that stuff.
I'd say it's an almost universal thing, but then again,
They was like,
Yeah.
What about horse stuff?
This is where me and the left differ, really.
Horse stuff.
This is
Tyler,
where me and the
you're
left differ,
wrong.
really.
Tyler, it's crazy of you to say that Vosh is being so irresponsible that he's going to make discourse harder for everybody else to do. And he doesn't give a shit because he's an isolated rich person more and more every year. It's just you're being crazy if you think that Vosh did anything wrong. You're being victim blaming. Vosh didn't do anything wrong. Here we are. Got him. What do you what now? What do you have to do? Now you have to asterisk like, hold on now, that joke is a little bit hold on now, not literal Nazi. Hold on, literal Nazi that now has a foothold against talking about child pornography and depravity because somebody just streamed without a fucking delay and didn't make sure to fucking not have his porn in the one folder everything goes into. Sorry, there's a major figure on the left. Just put his fucking whole foot in it. Stop talking about it. Stop talking about it. You're just a cloud shark. Stop talking about it. He's just one of the most well-known people on the right, on the left, and he just made a little boo-boo. Stop talking about it. Stop talking about it. Jesus fucking Christ. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. I'm so fucking right about that I hate myself for it. It was the stupidest mistake you could have avoided. Stop talking about it. We are not. I didn't bring it up.
When I saw Shadowfax running towards Gandalf, I wasn't, sure he gave us the Maybelline hair shot, but I wasn't thinking, damn.
Westside uppity.
Fine looking horse.
Yeah. Maybe it's a mule. I might think that's a nice piece of ass, but wait. Okay. Sheep.
That's where Oz has to reconsider stuff.
Look, I'm just saying. Define a lamb. Anyway, my stance on sheep is pretty well known. You're a meal and a date, all in one package.
Yuck. Cursed comments.
Hang on, it's a date after the meal.
Goodbye, horses.
How do you feel about...
Stop.
Okay.
So what I was trying to say, I think one of the ways you can gauge, if it's appropriate or inappropriate, right, is if the polar opposite of the thing that you would want to ban or anything like that, and usually the polar opposite is something that you want or like, right? Would you want that to be banned from your access to it? Okay, and so people might say communism is bad or anything like that, and we should ban any book celebrating communism. It's like banning Mein Kampf or something like that. What's
Please,
the
someone
polar
clip
opposite
the horse
extreme
stuff comment.
ideology to that book? And that's usually, a book that we might like or appreciate, right? Would we want that banned from us? And if we find that there is a reverse, right, that we want to maintain rights to consume, we should probably then not take away the opposite to the other person. And that's probably a good line. But then if we could find something that everyone can agree on is violating, but that's a problem. Even with CP, not everyone. I don't care if people try and defend it. That's like no, right?
But that's the thing about decency, is everyone's got a different set of decency and different set of principles. Ultimately, I think, telling people what they can and can't read is the same as telling people what they can and can't say or believe. Ultimately, there are some things that are just too objectionable to be allowed to exist, where they become a crime against humanity.
And it's tricky because there's a line that I usually draw, right? Like, people are entitled to believe what they want, so long as it doesn't impose upon the rights, freedoms, not their feelings, of other people. Okay, if it doesn't, the whole doesn't harm other people, right? But there are certain ideologies that the very purpose of that ideology is to impose upon the rights and freedoms of other people and to take away their resources and redistribute it and all that stuff, right?
Yeah,
and-
Nazism. Nazism does that. The book burning people, they do that. They steal all the Jewish wealth and fucking redistribute it literally back into the community. Oh, you're getting upset about fucking communism now here. I get it. But like, the intellectual rigor that doesn't let you understand that you're just outright virtue signaling fascist rhetoric is like crazy. Because, by the way, you'll do it. You'll do it too. You'll still redistribute shit. Do you think they won't? Do you think they'll let a fucking pedophile like keep their assets? You know what I'm saying? Or anyone that they deem degenerate is going to be able to keep their fucking assets? They're going to start calling everybody a fucking pedo in his little fucking made-up world. Because they already do that. It's going to be anybody that has fucking 6 degrees of separation from somebody that said an untoward joke at some point. 6 degrees of separation from a fucking horse folder, and you're going to get thrown in jail, and your fucking assets are going to get fucking redistributed. Everybody does it. They're going to say it's to repay the victims. But you're still going to get your shit redistributed. You guys do it too. You always want to do it. You fucking love doing it. What do you think going into other countries as capitalists and taking over the country and fucking stealing all the shit from the people there and giving it to your own citizens is? It's redistribution. At gunpoint, literally. God damn it. You say it says, oh, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Like, bro, how the fuck how is America so good? We redistributed America from the fucking Native Americans to ourselves. Redistributed the gold in the Aztec Empire and the Incas to fucking Europe. You know what I mean? Like, it's a thing that happens. Well, it can't be good. Yeah, well, then give it back. No, I'm not gonna do it.
And so, you know, does that go too far? People, like, I don't want to take away people's right to believe certain things. It's difficult. It can get murky, and so ultimately it comes back to, all right, you need to basically allow other people the freedom to believe what they want, read what they want, and everything, and you can censor your own access to what you want because you get to choose the environment you live in on a very small scale, your family unit. And that's where a lot, like, I see the world getting worse and worse, and you don't have control to stop it. You know, you try, you raise a voice, but at the end of the day, the thing that I have control over is my home and my family, and I can make my home a place of safety, security, love, support, where
we ban books.
This bastion of sanity from the vileness of the world, and that kind of comes back to that. And so it was just an interesting discussion, really, about sometimes I think people can take it out of proportion, go too far, and they misunderstand the difference between, you know, like removing something from your own access, like you are banning it, you know, for your home and stuff like that, versus, oh, you know, like banning it across the board for, you know, government or something doing it. Yeah. What are your thoughts? It's been an interesting discussion. Looking forward to hearing them, and as always, stay on watch.
Little loud there at the end. Jesus fucking Christ. Ugh, I'm exhausted. That was the stupidest shit I've seen Shadiversity say yet, and I'm not doing that. I'm not saying that as like as an edgy streamer, bro. That was actually dumb as fuck. That's crazy. Crazy that my man came out hard for the book burning. I didn't think he would say it. Like, I deeply believed it would be articulated in a like dog whistly crypto way, or, you know, like you know, maybe we should reconsider it or something. And I would have to be like, okay, what was he going here? And he's like, no, I will literally burn books right now. Fucking Shadiversity light a match Brooks, dude. My God. I'm gonna talk to chat for a bit. I think that's pretty much it. I don't know what else to say. Shadiversity is an out and out Nazi. There is nothing about Nazism Shadiversity has so far said he wouldn't be cool with. And also, he seems really, really like chill with not making the obvious connection with somebody saying burning books at a Nazi rally is how you burn, is like basically the same as burning people, which Nazis did. there's just it's not even a slippery slope fallacy. There's just a legitimate historical connection between the two things. Because you're not trying to burn the book, you're trying to burn the ideas. And so once you start burning the ideas in the book, metaphorically, and realize that the book can just be reprinted, what is the obvious next step? You start fucking killing people. That's where we're going. So, like, unironically, Shadiversity would probably support the Holocaust. Shadiversity would definitely be at a fucking book burning. He just said he would. Oh, I don't agree with all the books they're burning. Exactly. I mean, I would be a little upset with some of them, but it definitely wouldn't. I definitely would probably have at least one or two that I think would be okay to burn. Fucking prick, bro. Like, unironically, like a bad guy, like a bad person. Like, there's no other way to say that. Like, that's fucking psychotic. It's a psychotic fucking thing to say. The Nazis often brutalized and killed the librarians, writers, and owners of the books they burned. Yes. Very well known thing is Shadow of the Conqueror allowed in Shad's house. Graphic descriptions of violent rape of children. On the shelves, I guess. Because there's like a bit of a hand wave. And in between the long passages describing in fairly graphic detail, with a sort of like lecherous smirk, the things done to children to satisfy the bizarre and highly specific sexual predilections of its main character, who never is punished for his crimes whatsoever, except for that he maybe feel a little bit bad, buddy. That's hand waved as saying it's bad. Up to the point where the children who were raped are described as having kids sometimes, and they're a little bit happier because they did get raped as children and had a kid. Like, well, they're a little upsetty spaghetti, but not as much as the women who were raped violently as children and did not bear children. They're a little upsetty spaghetti about it, but they're probably just pissy because they don't have kids. That's not just in the house; it's on the shelf right behind him. That's not getting burned. Because that's not a story that's not a story about a pedophile at all. Because it is. Because the guy is just an unrepentant pedophile to the end. He says he feels bad about it, but he doesn't say that, like, he doesn't do anything to undo it. You know what I mean? Like, he even sits in judgment of the people that charge him with stuff, and there's like extensive passages where he is like, well, this girl, I mean, I did have like relations with her, but even she's like a little bit she doth protest too much, she's kind of making shit up. even Dalen, prolific child rapist pedophile, smirking to the end about basically getting away with it now that he's getting closer to God. Even he has false Me Too allegations, which should be taken seriously. That's on the fucking shelves behind him. Crazy. That's not getting burned. Wild. Graphic depictions and descriptions. Like, sneering, lovingly detailed, I listen to him, depictions of what he's doing to children in that book. A graphic description of what a man does to his own son. Murdering him through rectal impalement. That's okay. That's fine, as a matter of fact. Little crazy. The Shadiversity doth protest too much, I think. Fucking Christ.
Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Like